Hi everyone, welcome back to Joey's video hole, where we descend into madness and learn about ourselves and the best ways to be productive via TikTok. And hopefully by diving into this, you and I both glean some valuable information that we can take forward into life to make us our most productive selves.
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
I know this one. Just soak it in though. This is the best advice you'll ever hear.
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight. What I've done now is I have changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week.
There's just so much gold in this clip, man. So much to analyze. I like how he jumps to that conclusion immediately. He doesn't even make his point yet. He's like, my day is 6 a.m. to noon. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. Instantly. Who is the dude in the cave 300 years ago? That's the 1700s. What are we talking about here? Anybody who was in a cave 300 years ago probably did think that each day has 24 hours. This might be a hot take, but I do see where this guy is coming from. This clip has made its rounds for good reason. It's hilarious. And this guy seems very convinced of himself. He's just pretending like he's invented a schedule, but he's calling it something else. He's pretending like he is actually manipulating time. He gets 3 days in one day. But the reason why I see where he's coming from is because I kind of do the same thing. Sometimes I feel like I just destroyed the first part of the day. So what I'll do is I'll take a nap for like 30, 40 minutes. And that's one of my main strategies for kind of pivoting. If my day is going downhill, I get where he's coming from. But it is funny. We all laughed. There's a chance he's like 14 years old. You know the meme, I'm 14 and this is deep? He is thinking like that meme. There's a very good chance he is actually 14 years old and what he's doing is working. He's not crazy, we're crazy. He has figured something out here, but it also causes him to age rapidly. And this video is just a cry for help.
Pick up your laptop and go to a coffee shop, but leave the charger at home. You now only have a limited amount of time before your laptop runs out of battery. You've created your own deadline, your own urgency, your own last-minute panic.
I actually don't hate that one. I can name many times where I've done the exact same thing by accident. The annoying thing about this though is I think it only really works if you're doing something like writing an essay. If you're doing something with higher levels of compute like video editing, that battery A is not gonna last very long. And B, when you're in an editing flow state, for me anyways, that's really hard to come by. And once I'm in there, I don't want that flow state to end. So I think maybe an addendum to this tip would be to leave your charger in the car, weaponize that ADHD mechanism he's talking about with the low battery thing. When that battery's at like 5%, you can go into your car. I don't know if my dog's gonna do this whole squeak routine again. Do anything else when I'm filming, please. Anything. Go lay down. Here, lay down. Okay. When I'm in that editing flow state, I like to milk it. It takes me so long to sit down and edit, I just procrastinate the hell out of it. But when I'm finally doing it, sometimes I can be diving deep for like 10 hours straight, and the battery is just not gonna last that long. So I think it totally depends on what you're doing.
The 2-minute morning technique that will change your life.
Oh, I love this so far. Holy smokes. I should edit all my videos like this.
Here's the secret.
Holy shit.
Sit cross-legged on your bed, close your eyes, and count backwards from 100 to 1, like a countdown in your head. 100, 99, 98, 97, all the way down to 1. Sounds easy, right? It's not. Most people can't do it. If you can push through, every task you tackle will be sharper, faster, and better.
This is the type of video you watch if you're in a basement with no windows strapped to a chair. You have amnesia, you don't know how you got there. Zoltium Tactics. Damn, I actually really liked that. It was creepy as hell, but it was different. I like original things. That's... Oh, shit. How did this mic get here? What the hell? Yeah, I mean, I like the delivery. The message was C. It's a C tier message. Sitting cross-legged, counting from 100 to 1. It's not gonna change your life. It really is not. I feel like if you were a computer that would be a really good morning routine.
Millionaires don't use to-do lists, they timebox. It's a technique Harvard Business ranked as the #1 most effective productivity hack.
I don't believe anything I hear on the internet anymore. It's rated as the #1 product. Like what? Based on what? Who did that? It said Harvard. Was it really? When did they do that? Harvard Business ranked it as the #1
most effective productivity hack.
It's all meaningless. That doesn't mean anything. You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I'm being too jaded.
The first step is called brain dumping, and it's a technique used by experts to formulate your thoughts onto paper.
Experts have deduced that writing down things you have to do in the day is a game changer.
And finally, we timebox, which is where we assign a time to each task. If you'd like to begin timeboxing, you can buy the timebox notepad on Amazon.
Ah, there it is. There it is. Buy it on Amazon. If you do this, yeah, you'll be more organized. It's nothing special. It just felt like it was an ad.
Dude, I gotta clean my room, but I can't focus.
Don't do it.
What?
I'm serious, trust me. Put your phone down, stare at the ceiling, and do nothing for as long as you can.
Alright, this is boring. I'm gonna go clean my room.
Wait, you just tricked me to being more productive?
Yeah, I have a video on exactly that, and it got memed too. The video is called The Laziness Cure You Don't Want to Hear. I referenced this study where there was a shocky button, and they got people to sit in an empty room with nothing to do except shock themselves with this button. And if I recall correctly, the vast majority of people chose to shock themselves multiple times because feeling pain was better than feeling nothing at all. They would rather hurt themselves than be bored. And it's funny because in the video I said they electrocuted themselves, and I was using that word wrong because electrocution means death. You get shocked to death. So no, they did not electrocute themselves to death rather than feel bored. Moral of the story, so many of us don't feel mobilized to do kind of menial but productive things like doing the dishes, cleaning your house, blah, 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 blah. It's because we always have an answer to boredom, right? We have apps like TikTok, we have Instagram. Usually when we are sitting there and we're like, I don't really know what to do. I feel restless. I have to do something with my life. That's when we're motivated, or when we would historically be motivated to be our most creative and productive. But when we always have an answer to that uncomfortable feeling, we will never feel bored enough to do good work. So yeah, weaponizing boredom, that's the meta. That's what you gotta do.
I'm able to get more done in a day than you probably do in a week because of these 3 stupid, simple time management hacks.
I don't like your tone, sir. Why'd you say that? Why'd you make me feel that way? That's just a wild way to start a TikTok.
Firstly is Parkinson's law. Now this is the idea that work will always expand to fill the time allocated for its completion. Or in other words, a task will take as long as you give it. So instead of telling myself that I'm going to finish a task by the end of the day or end of the week, I give myself a set amount of time to complete it using something like this. And I tell myself I'll get it done in however much time I set, and then more often than not, I do.
Anyone ever feel like the work you do is you're just a cog in some bigger system and it just doesn't matter, you know? And saving time like this is just helping you get the work done for somebody else faster. Like, I just don't know where the motivation is. You can set a timer and get this thing that should take you 3 days. You can get it done in 2 hours, but like, what for? Why? What are you doing this for? My brain really doesn't work that way. It just feels so restrictive. I don't get motivated or stoked about the idea of getting a 3-day task done in 20 minutes. I get more motivated by entering a creative flow state and like making something meaningful, producing something affecting. But I'm realizing now, like, these things can exist at the same time. Maybe I'm just exhausted by all this like time speak. It's like, oh, you can save time. You can do 10 times more things in 2 times less time and 3% less effort than the 4% more effort you did yesterday. It's like, I don't care. Does anybody care? My superpower is that I'm able to change and manipulate time to make 1-hour tasks last 4 days. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not a bad video. I don't know. I'm just kind of exhausted. It's like just the same stuff. It's the same tips. And they work, right? But how many times do you have to hear them?
Okay, I'm done gatekeeping my favorite hack for ADHD, even though I'm kind of embarrassed to share this. But this is the only way I get anything done anymore. I go to ChatGPT. I know. I give it my to-do list and I say, can you help me get through this list? Give me one assignment at a time. Keep me on track. Keep me motivated. It works. I don't know why. It works so well. I can keep doing this all day. Whereas if you leave me alone with a to-do list, I might get one thing into the list and then like get distracted by a butterfly.
See, I kind of hate this, but I understand it completely. And that's a weird psychological spot to be in, because I've done this exact same thing with ChatGPT. You're feeling kind of frustrated with the current way of doing things. You want to change things up. You want want to be more productive, you want to go to the gym more, you want to take care of your diet. So you express this to ChatGPT and you say, hey, here's what I got going on. What are your thoughts? And it gives you some ideas as to how to get it done. And it works. You go, oh, that's a good idea. I'm just going to do the first thing on the list. But there's just something so weird about it. If you think about the long-term play, right? It's 2025 right now. ChatGPT exists. You use ChatGPT to give you some feedback, bounce ideas off of, ideation, right? But what's going to happen to your brain if you do that all the time? And AI gets better and better, and you become more and more reliant on AI to give you direction in your life. You have this sincerity to you, and you are taking that sincerity and you're putting it in the hands of a language model that then gives you the next steps as to what to do with your life. It just feels like the long-term trajectory of that is you showing up to GPT every day for the answers in your life. And I do think that's happening to more and more people. But it's a large language model. It's not human. It's just feeding you something that sounds very coherent, something that sounds very, well-researched or something, but it's designed to sound like that. And it is getting better at finding sources, plugging those sources in, referencing them, giving you this nice little package saying, here, this is a convincing argument that this should be what you do with your day. But it is just so weird that we're going to a computer and asking, hey computer,
hello computer,
what will you have us do? What should us humans do with our day? Feels like that doesn't end well. Does anybody else feel the same way? Once again, I might just not be with the times. Do you understand that cognitive dissonance? It is helpful, but it's also like potentially really not helpful long term.
This is one piece of advice that really helped me to stop over-analyzing and planning and to just take action. And the title of the book is The Advice: Ready, Fire, Aim. Most of us are so fixated on like over-analyzing the shit out of stuff, so that's like ready, aim, 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 and then we almost never fire the thing. We never actually take action.
Ollie's totally right here. I like the idea of just stumbling to the finish line and just learning through action, like thousands of iterations, thousands of failures. You get so much more information by failure than you do by thinking about the optimal way of doing things from afar and not being on the ice trying to score a goal. I don't know how I somehow turned that into a hockey analogy. It's probably the Habs hat soaking into my brain through my cranium, telling me to think hockey thoughts. Moral of the story is you can get so much better at stuff faster by doing things and failing rather than not doing things and thinking about it and doing it perfectly the first time. Especially in areas where you kind of don't know what you're doing. It's like you can't even possibly imagine or predict the challenges ahead if you don't contend with them in real time. And I think more things are like that in life than we realize. Maybe even most things.
Ali Abdaal on Twitter posted his 10 productivity hacks. I loved it. I thought this was one of his best posts he's ever made. And he came out a week later to say that AI wrote that. And he said it was a part of this experiment that he was running to see if an AI would be able to replace a human. And the answer was yes, and better.
I believe it. Because sometimes what AI does is it says the obvious things. And people go, oh my goodness, I know this, but when you said it like that, it really hit. And that's what I've noticed about my own YouTube channel, to be honest with you, is like the videos that do the best on better ideas, that evil channel. When I have simpler ideas, but I tell them in a more visually complex way, they tend to do way better. Now, I don't know if this has a lot to do with the Ali Abdaal Twitter post, other than the fact that simple ideas often pack a huge punch. But there is just something so soulless about AI creativity, AI writing. Every day you see AI getting better and better at creativity and fooling more and more people. But I think it's always in this domain of like pretty good content, like serviceable content, where if you have some masterpiece like Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 1 and 2, that feels different. Like I just don't think AI can do that or will ever be able to make that movie because it just feels human. But more and more people are just straight up watching AI content on YouTube. They're just watching AI generated YouTube shorts. They're watching full-length videos, but that's just sort of like mediocre, watchable content. And you're gonna see more and more of that as time goes on. And maybe AI will just start to get into these upper tiers where it's entertaining, it's fun to watch in sort of a hypnotic way, but I don't know if it'll it'll add substance to your life. I don't think it'll help you understand more about the world around you and about the human condition, which is sort of the main criteria for the highest tier of art. There's something there to be learned. Yeah, so if you want little productivity tips and tricks on Twitter, then AI can absolutely replace a human and maybe do it better and faster and cheaper. And that's why so many people are losing their jobs to AI. It's because if you don't provide a lot of value, kind of provide moderate levels of value, yeah, AI is probably going to replace you. And it's not a good thing, but if you're in denial that that's happening on a huge scale, you're in for a rude awakening. Unfortunately, I do think it is unfortunate. I'd rather humans be employed.
Come with me if you want to live.
If you liked this video, it would be a huge help if you actually hit the like button, because when you hit the like button, the algorithm blesses me and it shoves my bald head into other people's homepages, helping them out, which also helps me out. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. Leave a comment for the algorithm's sake and let me know about what you would like me to make a video about next. Your comments do make a difference and I really appreciate them. Other than that, thank you so much for watching and we'll catch you in the next video. And if you missed the last video, you can watch that right here.